excited to be here. Very excited to be on this podcast, my podcast. I have decided to start a little solo pod. If you're listening to this, potentially you've already listened to my main pod, my regular pod, Recreational Outrage, with Evan Fitzgerald over on Slaughterhouse Studios. And if you have, thank you very much. Continue to listen to that. It is the number one pod. No, it's a good time. This is not that. It's going to be a little bit different. This is just going to be me talking about stuff that I'm interested in. Not always going to be funny. Not always not going to be funny. I'm just going to try and be myself on this podcast. And it's called Dylan's Law. It's called Dylan's Law. Dylan's Law is something that growing up my friends made up, which means it's basically Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It already has go wrong, and it's going to go worse than you expect. So my friends growing up examined my life, and they made a joke of it. So that's what Dylan's Law is. Very cool. Very excited to be here. We're going to talk all kinds of things. Sometimes, we're going to talk pro wrestling. We're going to talk basketball. NBA champions, right? Motherfucking Nuggets. That's right. We're going to talk basketball, sports, Broncos. What are you doing? We don't have Jared Stidham. Is that going to be our quarterback next year? I don't know. We're going to talk politics. We're going to talk religion. I have a strong desire to interview an alchemist. I don't even know if those guys are real anymore. Are they around? I don't know. But I would like to interview them. And, yeah, that's what we're going to do with this pod. We're going to do different things. Hopefully I have a segment. That's right. I have a segment. We'll see if they last like they did on Recreational Outrage. But anyway, that's a joke for that maybe 16 people get, if that. Anyway, this is Dylan's Law. Welcome. Besides all that stuff that I just rambled out to you, the other main point of this show that I want to accomplish is giving a platform to independent musicians, independent artists, bands, rappers, singer-songwriters, banjo players, DJs, anyone and everyone that makes sounds. If it's dope, I want to highlight it. I want to just plug your dates, plug your social media. It's a win-win for both of us. Smoke some left-handed cigarettes. Nah, this is a cigar. It's a left-handed cigar. Anyway, nobody likes that. Those noises. I don't like them. I don't know why I just did it. But anyway, this is going to be fun. I'm excited. We're going to have fun on this podcast. I promise you that. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's some animals out there who are quite the artisans. Is that the right? We got some artists in the world. And I want to show you this first one. This is Pigcasso. Pigcasso.
They call her Pigcasso, and you can see why. This painting porker's skills have captured the attention of animal lovers and the art community, with her work selling for thousands of dollars. Pigcasso has quite the Cinderella story. She was saved from a slaughterhouse by a South African animal rescue. The founder of Farm Sanctuary SA said she gave the piglet some items to play with, including a paintbrush, because she knows how intelligent pigs are. But she was blown away when this pig came up with creations like this.
I mean, look at that.
Today, Pigcasso's work sells around the globe, with the average piece going for around $1,600 US. She even appeared in an ad for Nissan.
Wow. Pigcasso,
Her rescuers say she's also on a mission to encourage people to have more compassion for animals and to bring awareness to the conditions some animals suffer in factory farms.
Wow.
Pigcasso would have probably ended up on a family dining room table if she wasn't rescued. And that would have been a waste of talent. For Inside a
A waste of talent. That would have been a waste of talent. Yeah. Let's see. In some Pigcasso related news, ladies and gentlemen. In some Pigcasso related news. I hate to tell you. Well, someone's trying to buy cameras recently. Go the fuck away. Sorry. Pigcasso has died, everybody. Pigcasso is dead. And this journalist for the New York Post is quite the wordsmith. Check this out. Throughout the article, really, she so had a nose for art. She so had a nose for art. Pigcasso, the wildly talented pig, who sold over $1 million of her paintings and was held the most successful non-human artist in world history, has died at the age of 8. Joanne Lefson, the Creative Critters owner, recently announced the 450-pound visionary's death due to chronic rheumatoid arthritis. Prior to her passing, the pig's illness rendered both of her back legs lame, owing to calcification of her lower spine. There is much sadness that such an inspiring figure for welfare animals has passed, Lefson, 52, told Cater News. But we also celebrate a life well lived and the profound difference she made. Lefson, an animal activist from French Rock, South Africa, rescued Pigcasso from a slaughterhouse when the oinker was just 4 weeks old in May of 2016. Wow. Inspiring. Okay. Now it's not loading. Thanks to her blonde savior, I mean, what else would a pig want? The pig prodigy escaped the skillet. There's that wordsmith. Pigcasso would have become a bacon bit within 6 months of age, said Lefson. Instead, she was saved and rose to inspire millions of people to reconsider what they eat through her extraordinary talent. The four-legged luminary lived and painted at Farm Sanctuary, South Africa, a non-profit foundation that provides a safe sanctuary for rescued farm animals. Her legacy continues through the sanctuary and our mission to inspire a kinder, more sustainable world for all, added Lefson of the late wonder, whose artwork graces collections belonging to A-listers such as Ed Wistek, Rafael Nadal, and Jane Goodall. Pigcasso, the cheekily named as an honorable nod to renowned Cubism pioneer Pablo Picasso, rose to international fame in late 2016. She signs each masterpiece by dipping her snout in red paint and stamping it into the finished product. Oh, Pigcasso, I did not force her to paint. She paints when she wants to, Lefson explained at the dawn of Picasso's career. Often we pack an overloaded picnic basket and she pigs out on organic strawberries, guavas, and caramel-coated popcorn. Well, that's why she has rheumatoid arthritis with caramel-coated popcorn. Now, this is where they go too far. This is an article about the pig dying. Pigcasso is dead. Talking about her life, they said, for Pigcasso, it's simply hog heaven. In 2018, the Hot Hog became the first animal artist to host a solo art expedition, which was held at the V&A waterfront in Cape Town, South Africa. Crazy. Anyway, tragically, Picasso's otherworldly success was overcast by sickness soon thereafter. While Pigcasso had already shown symptoms of arthritis over the past few years, her physical condition rapidly deteriorated in September of 2023, and that's why I wouldn't let her start painting. By October, I just saw a commercial for the new Sarah Silverman show, Dumb Pet Tricks or whatever, which is a David Letterman thing. And they advertised Pigcasso being on there. So by early October, both of her back legs had become lame due to calcification on her lower spine, aggravated by the arthritis. Both incurable conditions directly linked with manipulations and modifications that farm animals are subjected to on today's industrialized factory farms. So sad. Her last work was titled Standing Ovation, which Pigcasso couldn't do because her back legs were lame. So give it up for Pigcasso, everybody. You know, I'm so glad that this lady was able to save the pig. Truly, she saved a pig, and it was able to paint its whole life. I didn't know that pigs could paint. I thought they just stopped and frisked minorities in New York City. But, you know, shout out to Pigcasso. You're dead now. Thank God you weren't made into bacon or ham or pork chops, you know. Thank God you got to paint and not feed one of the 45 million children starving worldwide. Anyway, let's get to the first song of the night. You ready? I'm ready for this. I'm very excited for this. So I'll tell you a little story. One day I went up and I did a little set at a little place called the Monkey Barrel. The Monkey Barrel has a comedy open mic ran by the wonderful, powerful, not almighty. I'm gonna stop. It's ran by a guy named Gagg Nancy, Pallet City. It's a great place, great hang, great burgers, a great place to work on those new jokes or perhaps kill yourself. So, yeah, it's great. It's a good place. It's fun, was what I'm trying to get. And one night there was a lady and her friend. Her friend went up and she was funny and then said she had no interest in doing comedy past this, and that infuriated me. But the lady's friend was Keddjra. And Keddjra gave me a sticker. She told me to look up her music on Spotify, and I did. And she was truth be told, she was the first person I thought of when I started this pod. I reached out to, and we're gonna play her music. We'll play her music often because I think she's down and she's a friend of the show. So we're gonna play Keddjra, the first Keddjra song, everybody. You know, so cool of her. She actually sent us an unreleased song. It's titled 24 Bars. I have a feeling it's because it's 24 bars long, not because the song is titled 24 Bars. But it is a good song. I dig it. And you're going to dig it too. Keddjra. I'm going to put some of her dates up on the screen. And then I'll repeat them and all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Keddjra.
Morning or night, sip on the day while you wait to get high. I don't argue, no point, no use. Someone hold me, I don't believe I'll be falling asleep so soon, so fast. If I could make euphoria last, if I could make euphoria last. Dirty walls, oh no, drip down the back of your unclean throat. Withdrawals with grace, wake up to blood on your unclean face. Take it back, I won't sip on debris, so you might as well choke. Relapse, it's fine. Mourning a life that should have been mine.
Keddjra, everybody. Just let the last couple seconds play out. Anyway, Keddjra, everybody. That is a dope, very dope song. And, I mean, it is. It's so good. And I'm excited. I don't know if they're going to add drums to it. If they do or something like that, I would do it. There's a bar in there. Let's see, a bar. There's a couple bars. When these guitars come in, guys.
dirty walls. Oh no, drip down the back of your unclean throat. Withdrawals with grace, wake up to blood on your unclean face.
Withdrawals with grace, wake up to blood on your unclean face. That's the songwriter right there, folks. Give it up for Keddjra. That is some good shit. Denver-based singer-songwriter specializing in jazz-inspired vocals. March 15th, you can catch Keddjra and Eric Welty. They're going to be at the Monkey Barrel, which is what I was just talking about. March 21st, Keddjra's Trio. You can catch them at Washington Park and Grille at 6 p.m. March 22nd, Keddjra and Eric Welty are back at Monkey Barrel. Then April 28th, Larimer Lounge. You're going to want to get tickets to some of those shows. They're all going to be good times, I'm sure. Very big shout out to Keddjra. That is some good stuff. I dig it. We're going to listen to another Keddjra song to end the show. But now to our next topic. As I said, not everything I talk about is going to be Pigcasso. You know, not everything. I almost made a big accident. You almost saw Dylan's Law in action live. But one thing that I wanted to talk about in this first episode, just to make it clear who I am, I guess, is politics. No, kind of politics. There is a journalist who, for 13 years, has been imprisoned. He has been tried to be extradited to the United States. And most people probably know him because of 2016 presidential election, WikiLeaks. They drop a bunch of stuff from the DNC concerning Hillary Clinton, a bunch of stuff. Some of it got interpreted and turned into some crazy, very crazy high-level conspiracy theory stuff, but other was very just regular stuff. Conspiracy, sure, because it was people conspiring together to rig the Democratic primaries against Bernie Sanders in favor of Hillary Clinton, sharing debate questions, certain phrasing you can use in certain parts of the country to turn people against Bernie Sanders, reminding Southern voters that he's Jewish. That was in there. Those kind of things were in there. From the heads of the DNC to Hillary Clinton's campaign. So you could blame Hillary's loss on WikiLeaks, and a lot of people do. So obviously I'm talking about Julian Assange. And a lot of people immediately classify him as like a Trump guy, as an Alex Jones type guy, David Icke, one of these guys who, you know, they're talking about things that probably actually are happening 1 minute, and the next minute they're talking about reptilians. That's not what Julian Assange is. It's not what WikiLeaks is. They talk about dark stuff, but they're not talking about, they're in no way talking about that kind of stuff. The thing that WikiLeaks got famous for, and the reason why the United States government has wanted to extradite Julian Assange for almost over 13 years, is because Chelsea Manning, or at the time when the leaks happened, respectfully, Bradley Manning, leaked all of this footage and documents and classified information to WikiLeaks because no one else wanted it. And what it was it exposed war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq. It exposed the surveillance state. Edward Snowden was part of this as well. It exposed the surveillance state happening in America and in the Western world, honestly. It exposed drone programs. It exposed the killing of journalists by our military, the United States military. So we're just going to listen to some. We're going to listen to some stuff about Julian Assange, because we should because like In the world we live in, we need people that expose things. And when they get persecuted and people come after them, if we want to continue as a society, we have to stand up for them, even if you think it won't do anything. That's why this kind of stuff happens. That's why whistleblowers are found dead, like the Bowen guy. The Bowen whistleblower is just found dead, apparent suicide, even though, according to his lawyers, he's the happiest he's ever been because the trial's almost over. You know? That shit only happens because us, the people, we don't think we can do anything about it, so it's okay. At least it's not happening to us. So let's listen to some stuff about Julian Assange. I think it's important. Maybe you don't, but it doesn't matter because it is. Anyway, this is Mick Wilson of the EU from Ireland.
Navalny should not have been in prison. The only people that should be in prison are those who are a danger to society when they're free. His death in prison was a tragedy. He was brave and committed, but committed.
So just some background. I should have said this at the beginning of this video. To start, he's talking about Navalny, the guy in Russia who just died in prison, supposedly a political prisoner. Maybe he was. We don't. I mean, he was a political prisoner, and I'm sure the Russian government probably did kill him. That doesn't make him a good guy. He, as you're going to hear, he's compared Arabs, Muslims to cockroaches. Navalny has. He has urged Russians to purchase guns to defend themselves against Muslims. So he's just. I don't even know what Putin's politics are. I guess he's far right, but this guy's just as far right. He just is just another far right guy. He's not nothing special. It doesn't sound like. So that's who Mick Wilson is talking about at the beginning of this. Sorry.
Navalny should not have been in prison. The only people that should be in prison are those who are a danger to society when they're free. His death in prison was a tragedy. He was brave and committed, but committed to many of the things that we wouldn't agree with. He was very much at odds with the purported EU values. He was a right-wing nationalist, much like Putin. He was Islamophobic and compared Muslims to cockroaches. He championed gun law legislation and he urged Russians that they needed guns to exterminate Muslims. At the same time, while we're eulogizing Navalny, Julian Assange has been persecuted now for 13 years. We met his father, John Shipton, this morning, and it was absolutely emotional just to listen to him. And he told us that in 2011, 13 years ago, the CIA set out to destroy Julian, destroy his family, bankrupt his family, destroy WikiLeaks. That's 13 years ago. And they have been fighting that since, and the EU has nothing to say about Julian Assange.
I mean, why don't they? Because he's exposing the machine. Like, that's just the truth. He's exposing the people who are actually in control. And I say that, I don't mean like some Illuminati shit. Don't get me wrong. I mean the military-industrial complex, the World Economic Forum, these kind of things. The people who are actually running things. Pay attention. That's what he's exposing. And that's why they are going after him. And we're going to listen to this now. This is him on the Afghanistan war logs.
Hundreds of civilian deaths, a black unit to hunt down Taliban leaders, intelligence pointing to Pakistani and Iranian involvement in the insurgency. The US military's secret Afghanistan war logs provide the most revealing picture of the conflict so far. An hour-by-hour account emerges from 92,000 cryptic reports, each recording an incident involving NATO troops, a Taliban attack, or intelligence received. They were shared with The Guardian, The New York Times, and Der Spiegel by the whistleblower's website, WikiLeaks. Its founder, Julian Assange, explains why he made it public.
If journalism is good, it is controversial by its nature. It is the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction. So we see that controversy, and I believe that is a good thing to engage in. And in this case, it will show the true nature of this war. And then the public from Afghanistan and other nations can see what's really going on and take steps to address the problems. The significance of this material is both the overarching context, that is, it covers the entire war since 2004, and individual events which are also significant, or a thread of events. So those include something like Task Force 373, an US-based assassination squad that goes around Afghanistan killing people on a kill or capture list. It includes significant events where many people were killed. For instance, we are looking at an event that killed 181 people at once, some by an AC-130 gunship. It includes detail about how the war is supported in various ways. So how the political class in Kabul interfaces with US military and intelligence, how the corruption is spread through that community, but also how the war is mediated by Pakistan and possibly by Iran. The nearest analogue is the Pentagon Papers, which was released in the early 70s. That exposed how the United States was prosecuting the war in Vietnam. That was some 10,000 pages, and some of those pages were accepted and put into the New York Times and other US newspapers. It wasn't for several years that a book was published of some 5,000 of those pages by Beacon Press. This situation is different in that it's not just more material and being pushed to a bigger audience and much sooner. I feel like everyone has the book, the whole lot at once, but rather that people can give back. So people around the world who are reading this are able to comment on it and put it in context and understand the full situation. That is not something that has previously occurred, and that is something that can only be brought about as a result of the internet. Militaries keep information secret to prosecute their part of a war, but also to hide abuse. And there is a military argument for keeping some information secret that is very timely. So an example of where troops are about to deploy. But that information expires quickly. And this information ranges from 2004 to 2010. So that argument is not valid for this type of information. This legend on my t-shirt is really quite...
So, I mean, if you actually listen and don't just follow whatever Fox News tells you or MSNBC or CNN, because they're just the propaganda wing of our government, and they have been for a while. If you just listen to what he's actually saying, you'll see he's exposing what they're doing to our world. We're going to show one more thing because I think it's relevant, and then we'll play our next song. This is Julian Assange talking about the surveillance state that we live in.
I say that this generation, or that perhaps our generation, but anyway, this generation being born now, in seconds in most countries, very shortly in most countries, and it's already happened in say China, most European countries, the United States, is the last free generation. You were born, and either immediately or within, say, a year, you're known globally. Your identity in one form or another, coming as a result of your idiotic parents plastering your name and photos over Facebook, or as a result of insurance applications or passport applications, transport on airlines, etc. You are known to all the world's major powers, all the world's major state powers, and all the world's major commercial powers. That's a very different situation for individuals to be in than they have previously been in. That the small child now, in some sense, has to negotiate its relationship with all the world's major powers. Of course, in practice, it can't do anything. Its parents are not managing that negotiation. But it puts us in I think, a very different position in the sense that very few, in fact, maybe only a few people in this audience, very technically capable people, are able to live apart, to choose to live apart, to choose to go their own way. They must be part of not only the state, but the major state-like corporations, so powerful they may as well be states, and not just their own state, but other states as well. That's a significant change, cultural change for humanity.
You know, if you have any questions why they're going after, I mean, they're turning us into a 1984 like world nation, and that's what they want, and that's not good. I understand that some people think that maybe that's good, maybe that's what we need, but it's not. It never is. It never turns out good. You know, corporations might as well be persons. That's something that Occupy Wall Street was about in the end, and then it turned into a bunch of bullshit. But that's okay. You know, do your own research on Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. Do your own research on what our country does, because when one former president said, "We have a lot of killers. We have killers too." You know, might have been a piece of shit, but that's the truth. We do a lot of killing, and I think we're seeing that. I think people are waking up to that more and more. But we're gonna move on to our next song. I know we're gonna move on to our next song. I know we could listen to me talk all night, which is why you're listening. But we're gonna move on to our next song. Very excited for this one. These guys are touring through Colorado right now. I believe maybe they're from Utah, I think. I don't know. But I love their name. Gagg, Gagg, Gagg Nancy, everybody. This is called Wave Goodbye. Here we go.
so out of focus ever since you came into my life. It's hopeless, 'cause every time I say this, you tell me every reason why. I'm crazy, I'm toxic, and I go left. Let's call it quits and wave goodbye. 'Cause you're right, yeah, you're right. Just call it quits and wave goodbye. Whoa, you're right, you're so right. Just call it quits and wave goodbye. Wow, wow,
Gagg Nancy, everybody. That's some good stuff. You guys like Gagg Nancy? I like Gagg Nancy. Gagg Nancy. Come here, Nancy. Let me gag you. Anyway, that was too much. 3:14, that's today. Hopefully, if I get this out. 3:14, March 14th, they're going to be at the Rick House in Denver. March 15th, East Fax Tap, Denver. March 16th, over in Carbondale, Colorado, they're going to be at the Black Nugget. April 13th, they're going to be at the Black Lung Society, which I belong to. Black Lung Society, Ogden, Utah. And then May 18th, I'm going to be at Billy Strings. But Gagg Nancy, something about Mormons or Utahns and gagging, because Gagg Nancy is going to be at the Gagged No More Fest at the Doug Ellis Studio in Springville, Utah on May 18th, and then June 22nd they will be at the Pearl on Main in Midvale, Utah. That's Gagg Nancy, everybody. Gagg Nancy. Unfortunately, we have to talk more politics. And no, we're not going to talk about how CNN is calling Denver an overrun city with no more room. They said specifically, let me read you what CNN said about Denver. A picture of an overwhelmed city from CNN. A preschooler sleeping under a bridge. Crowds lining up to get food and shelter.
A homeless Nazi man using the flayed skin of a Venezuelan migrant to keep himself warm.
That's a picture of an overwhelmed city by CNN. Anyway, now we are going to talk some more politics, a little bit more politics. Today, the House of Representatives passed the Tik Tok Ban bill. They're banning TikTok. They want to ban TikTok. Look, I'm not a fan. I grew up, us 32-year-olds were the first ones who really had to navigate the waters of social media on our own, as it's known today. And it's bad for us. We knew that back then. I just barely started fucking with TikTok because dudes are out here selling out comedy clubs. They don't got 20 minutes, but they got TikTok. So I have 20 minutes, just so you know, just humble brag. Solid 20. Solid. But anyway, I don't even remember what I'm talking about now. But we're going to talk about the TikTok ban. That's what it is. I don't care about TikTok. It probably is horrible for us mentally. It probably should have never started. But now it's here. Now it's here, and there's not a lot we can do about it. It's part of our lives. And the thing that we need to understand, and we're going to listen to a few things, and please, just because I show videos of some people, it doesn't mean that I'm on their side or whatever. We're just listening to stuff from the hearing, because that's what Dylan likes to do. He likes to get a little stoned and watch congressional hearings. That's a good fucking time. Okay? Tik Tok Ban. We're going to listen to a few people talk. All right? We are. First, we're going to listen to Mike Gallagher. Mike Gallagher wrote the bill, helped write the bill, probably with somebody else. One thing I got to say, anytime, let's look up, votes or TikTok bill. Let's see what the vote was. The vote was... Okay. I wish they would just give me an overall number. There we go. The vote was 352 in favor and 65 opposed. Okay? 352 in favor, 60. These people can't agree on how to fund schools, how to fund roads, how to fund infrastructure, how to fund education. I just said the same thing 6 different times in 6 different ways, kind of like how they do. But they can't choose which countries to bomb, which countries not to bomb, which countries we're at war with. They're printing trillions of dollars every 100 days, and they can't decide. The point is, anytime these people overwhelmingly agree on a bill like this, please understand, get it through your fucking head. It's not good for us. I'm going to have too much fun with that. Anyway, this is Mike Gallagher. Let's listen to him. And he says, it's titled, "This is How We Know That TikTok is a Threat to Our National Security." Let's listen to Mikey Gallagher.
A minute and a half to the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you. TikTok is a threat to our national security because it is owned by ByteDance, which does the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party. We know this because ByteDance leadership says so, and because Chinese law requires it. This bill therefore forces TikTok to break up with the Chinese Communist Party. It does not apply to American companies. It only applies to companies subject to the control of foreign adversaries defined by Congress. It says nothing about election interference and cannot be turned against any American social media platform. It does not impact websites in general. The only impacted sites are those associated with foreign adversary apps, such as TikTok.com. It can never be used to penalize individuals. The text explicitly prohibits that, and it cannot be used to censor speech. It takes no position at all on the content of speech, only foreign adversary control. Foreign adversary control of what is becoming the dominant news platform for Americans under 30. This is a common sense measure to protect our national security. I urge my colleagues to support this critical bipartisan legislation.
Turn myself up because I was coughing. So if you've been paying attention to anything that's been happening over the last 8 to 10 years, as far as the government's relationship with social media, news outlets, things and organizations of those natures, then you should be aware that our government works with them. They work with our government. They do kind of what the government wants. They suppress the things that the government wants. Whether it's Republicans or Democrats, whether it's George Bush or George Biden. Yes, might as well. George Biden. It might as well be the president, George Biden. But you have to understand that he said it at the end. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Foreign adversary. I don't want China spying on me. You know, I'm actually learning Mandarin right now because I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm reading Mark's books. I don't know. What am I saying? Anyway, yeah, it's probably not good if China can just fucking spy on us. Also, our government is spying on us. You know, if you've been paying attention to Twittergate, our government tells Twitter, Instagram what to suppress and what not to suppress. He said at the end, it's not just because it's has some kind of relationship with China because it's a Chinese-based company, which all of those things are true. It is a Chinese law that if you are a Chinese company, you do have to report, share your information with China, the CCP. That's true. But he said it at the end. For people under 30, it's their main news source, and our government doesn't have any sway over them. They're not suppressing stuff about Gaza. They're not suppressing those kinds of things. They're just not. And that's why they want to get rid of it. And if you think that just because this fucking Gallagher fucking guy, he should be smashing watermelons, just because he thinks, he says, and he wrote the bill, so you would know. But just because he says it won't ever apply to another, don't believe him, because it will. Because the Patriot Act is the same kind of thing. And now it wouldn't ever apply to citizens. And now because of it being changed every time it gets voted on, and the NDAA and those kind of things, now it does include American citizens. So don't ever listen to them when they tell you that, especially when it gets a vote of 352 to 60 fucking 4, whatever it was. Let's listen to one more guy talk about it, and then we're going to move on. Listen to some more music. This is Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky. Let's listen to what he has to say.
From Kentucky is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I know the sponsors of this bill are sincere in their concerns and in their effort to protect Americans. They've described the TikTok application as a Trojan horse, but there's some of us who feel that either intentionally or unintentionally, this legislation to ban TikTok is actually a Trojan horse. Some of us are concerned that there are First Amendment implications here. Americans have the right to view information. We don't need to be protected by the government from information. Some of us just don't want the president picking which apps we can put on our phones or which websites that we can visit. We don't think that's appropriate. We also think it's dangerous to give the president that kind of power, to give him the power to decide what Americans can see on their phones and their computers. To give him that sort of discretion, we also think is dangerous. Now, people say that this TikTok ban will only apply to TikTok or maybe another company that pops up just like TikTok. But the bill is written so broadly that the president could abuse that discretion and include other companies that aren't just social media companies and that aren't, as some people would believe, controlled by foreign adversaries. Again, we're giving the president that discretion to decide whether it is controlled by a foreign adversary. There were some people who were legitimately concerned that this was an overly broad bill, and they got an exclusion written into the bill that I want to read. It says, the term covered company does not include an entity that operates a website or application whose primary purpose is to allow users to post product reviews, business reviews, or travel information and reviews. Why is this exception in the bill? Why did somebody feel like they needed this exception if the bill itself only covers social media applications that foreign adversaries are running? These and other questions we hope to answer in the course of this debate, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Kentucky reserves, the gentlewoman from Washington.
Once again, I have to turn myself back up. But anyway, I mean, come on. Guys, we got to have common sense. Just because they say it won't be used against us. In fact, when they say it won't be used against the American population, you better fucking believe it'll be used against the American population. Because that's what's happened every time. So, I don't know. It's hard stuff. But I don't... It will be used for other things. Rumble has a lot of controversial stuff on it. Rumble has a lot of contradictory stuff on it. It has everything that doesn't have a platform has a platform over on Rumble. You think that they won't do that on Rumble? Spotify lets, Rogan. They get mad about Rogan every 6 months about something. Spotify's in Sweden. Maybe they apply it to Spotify. I don't own any music. I'm a piece of shit. What am I supposed to do? Get Apple? No. Anyway. Don't ban TikTok. Maybe just ban it all. Period. Just get rid of it all. But it's there now, so you can't. Anyway, we're going to move on to some more music. We only got a little bit of time left together, so we're going to play 2 more songs. Is it 2 more songs? Yeah, 2 more songs. This is a group. They got a cool name, Jewel House. They hit me up. This song is called Sunshine in the City, and I will find their tour dates. Give it up for Jewel House, everybody. Sunshine in the City.
Walking these streets, can't tell if it's night or day. And the people I meet, they tell me that she's gone away. I keep asking, but nobody tells me why. And I can't see the sun when I look at the sky. Does anybody know where the sunshine goes in the city? There's no more light I find in the neon signs in the city. I'm falling asleep. Didn't used to move this slow. And this dirty concrete, it doesn't make a flower grow, no. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't true. I keep searching down the empty avenue. Does anybody know where the sunshine goes in the city? There's no more light I find in the neon signs. And every night, in artificial light, it's killing me to see you this way. Oh, Lord knows when the shadows
the sax. Thank you for waiting, because it kept me invested.
Walking these streets, everything turns to stone. But I'm making my peace. Maybe this could be my home. Oh, guess she had a reason why she couldn't stay. I look better in the darkness anyway. Does anybody know where the sunshine goes in the city? There's no more light I find in the neon signs. Does anybody know where the sunshine goes in the city? And when I've done my time, I leave it all behind. In the city. In the
All right. That's Jewel House. Sunshine. Sunshine in the City, everybody. It was dope. I like the sax. The only date I can find is April 19th. They're going to be at the Mercury Theater here in Denver. That's a dope room, so go check that out. Jewel House, everybody. We're going to move right along because we're nearing the end, everybody. We're going to play another song from Sonic upstairs is very loud. Can you guys hear it? Anyway, we're going to play another song. This is from Noah Daniel. Fire in the Mountains, everybody. Here we go.
Love ain't for the faint of heart or easily dismayed. I killed the better parts of me just to get my way. Feed the rich and kill the poor is all I hear around. The devil's dance has messed me up and tore me to the ground. There's fire in the mountain, scorching earth, rock and flesh. I tried to put the fire out, but God burned up instead. The stinging pain of sorrow makes those mountain flames grow bright. The liar in my broken heart says we'll be alright. I guess I like the pain. I call to you in vain. The fire in the mountain tells me all I need to to know. Walking through hellfire is the only place to grow.
Whoa. Noah Daniels music. Why did that happen? It cut out halfway through.
Slowly turn me numb. There ain't no coming back after falling from your grace. Seems rock bottom was the only place a man could build some faith. There's fire in the mountains, scorching earth, rock and flesh. I tried to put the fire out, but got burned up instead. The stinging pain of sorrow makes those mountain flames grow bright. The liar in my broken heart says we'll be alright. I guess I like the pain. I call to you in vain. The fire in the mountain tells me all I need to know. Walking through hellfire is the only way to grow.
Noah Daniel, everybody. Fire in the mountains. Maybe it's fires in the mountain. But that's Noah Daniels. I can't find any dates. I'll look harder once I'm not recording. But I can't find any dates. But that's a good song. I think at one point he says, I tried to put the fire out, but got burnt up instead. I thought the only place a man could build some faith was rock bottom, something like that. Good, that's great. We got some songwriters on the show tonight. But I don't know. The next episode, we're gonna have to get some heavy hip hop, some harder rock. Wave Goodbye was pretty dope, but I think the hardest shit we played tonight was Keddjra, and that's why we're gonna play another one from Keddjra, everybody. Before we go, before we do that, I just want to say, death. Death has been a part of my life for a very long time. My dad died when I was very young. When you lose a parent at a young age, and if you're listening to this, tell me if I'm right. That day it becomes kind of like your own little holiday that only you celebrate, that no one else really understands why you take so seriously, and it kind of upsets you. So that's what that time of year is for me. And I always kind of thought that because I lost someone really young, that it would be easier later on in life. And I discovered recently that it's not at all. I used to think that people were kind of pussies. It's like, yeah, you didn't expect that your 97-year-old great aunt was going to die. You're sad. Like, come on. And I regret feeling that way now. But, my grandpa passed away last week. What a great time to start up a new podcast, But and he was just the best. He was one of the good ones. He was there for me more than anyone else was, in every way. Literally the only person who took time to actually teach me how to be a man, and I definitely fall short of that. But hopefully, I will be able to evolve the way that he did. So, death, where is thy sting? Death, where is thy victory? That's what we like to say around here. And I'll see him again. So I had to put that in there on this first episode of Dylan's Law. Last song, everybody. We're going to play another song from Keddjra, like I said, from her album, How My Friends Must Worry. We're going to play Wanted You to Stay, featuring Sydney Gallagher. Here we go.
And from the things we didn't mean to say. It's just easier to think you never loved me anyway. No matter what you say, I swear I wanted you to stay. I'm sorry for the way I made you feel. Funny how we change. Funny how we change. I think you're looking straight. Can't expect to stay the same. Da 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 I'm sorry for the way I made you feel.
Fuck yes. Give it up for Keddjra, everybody. Keddjra. That is Keddjra. Very good. Great songs. The fucking voice. I could listen to a voice. Voices like that. That's all I could listen. You give me no other music. Give me no other voices but voices like that. I'm telling you, that's good shit. Listen to Keddjra. Go see her and her band. It's very good. You know what I mean? It's great music. So this has been Dylan's Law. That's pretty much where we're going to end it. Listen to my other podcast with my good friend and co-host, Evan Fitzgerald. Recreational Outrage on Slaughterhouse Studios. So many great shows on Slaughterhouse Studios. Roast Battle Denver. Recreational Outrage. Maybe Dylan's Law. We'll see if he accepts it. This will be out by Friday, so check out Club to Claudiad Comedy at the Coffee Joint 2-year anniversary. Ben fucking Roy's headlining. Great fucking lineup. Every Saturday I am at Howie's Rawson Lounge doing comedy. We got open mics. We got showcases. We're going to shut down the showcases during the NFL or NBA and NHL playoffs. But we will be back with showcases. April 12th, Spirit Hound Highlands. Mitch Jones is headlining that. Emily Cornelius is going to be guest hosting. I'm going to be over at the Bug motherfucking Theater. They're actually very close. I could probably do both. But I'm going to be at the Bug Theater with Mig Kaplan for the psychedelic comedy show. Very fun. I need to write some psychedelic.
Material.
But very excited for that show. Come out to that. 419, big 420 show at the Coffee Joint. Who's Riffin' Who? That's a fun time. It's going to get filmed finally. And it's going to be a fun time. I don't really have anything else to plug. Thank you so much. This show will get better. I'll be interviewing people outside of the comedy world. So it's just a little outlet for me to do something different. I want it to be fun. I want it to be informative. And if I say something you don't like, tell me to my face. So follow me at Dylan's_law on Instagram. And follow Dylan's Law. Hopefully this video gets uploaded to Slaughterhouse Studios, and if not, it'll be on Dylan's Law on YouTube, but it will be under Dylan's Law everywhere else on all podcast platforms going forward. This has been Dylan's Law. I'm Dylan Kantor. Hopefully Sonic is over. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.